everyone, welcome back to another episode. Let's review the Birkenstock Boston EVA. If you are new to the channel, then welcome. My name is Jess and I make videos about sneakers and lifestyle products. So if you like that kind of content, then please consider hitting the subscribe button right down below to check out more of my videos and upcoming videos. And if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, then thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. Today we're going to be reviewing these rubber or EVA Boston Birkenstocks, and I'm going to give you my full review on it. But let's dive into a little bit of the background and history a little bit, and then I'll go through the detailed materials and features, sizing, and all that fun stuff. Then of course my overall review at the end of the video to let you know if these are kind of worth your money or not. Let's dive a little bit into a brief history of Birkenstock. It is actually quite extensive as I was doing research for this video. But whether you love them or hate them, I'm assuming you love them because you clicked on this video to get a full review on them. But whether you love or hate Birkenstock, this company stems back 2 centuries ago in 1774 when a gentleman named Johann Adam Birkenstock listed to be a shoemaker. And he wanted to be a shoemaker that was more about foot health and not fashion. And back in the day, I did read that a lot of shoemakers are trying to make shoes because a lot of people didn't have money to be able to be passed down to other generations or other people in their family just to share it. If their foot was growing or anything like that, then they'd be able to pass down a pair of shoes or clogs or whatever they were wearing at the time. So that was kind of the importance and the start of Birkenstock itself. Move on many years, and there was a ton of family involvement in this company. And I think in around the late 1800s, they created what's called the flexible footbed. And that's kind of what started this whole inner footbed of Birkenstock itself. If you own a pair of Birkenstocks, then you know exactly what I am talking about. Very unique. And then in 1902, they created this right here, the contoured arch support, and it's kind of been in place since 1902, and it's blown up to the company that it is today. People are super eager to buy this brand. It's super popular. So many different silhouettes of different types of clogs or sandals, which is really interesting, different materials. And today I was very curious because I have a ton of Birkenstocks in my shoe collection, and I wanted to try the EVAs in the Bostons, because as you know, the Bostons are super popular right now, the suede one especially, in that tan color or the black or the dark brown. Very popular these days, and people are just wearing them more and more as you look on the streets and look at their feet. And so I had the Arizona EVAs and I absolutely love them. I still wear them to this day. They're getting a little bit run down now, so I thought maybe I would try the Boston ones, and that's how I came to purchase them. And so I thought I would do a full review after wearing them for a couple of weeks. So let's dive into the details, materials, and features. So in terms of retail price, this retails for $85 Canadian or at $60 USD. The release date for this is August 2023. Style code for this one is 01271303. Colorway, obviously, all black. And the weight for this is 233 grams. And these are both of the clogs on the scale, which is very light. These are super light clogs. In terms of materials and features, this is made from ethylene vinyl acetate, which is what EVA stands for. And it's a high quality, lightweight, elastic material. It has that contoured footbed that I spoke about at the beginning in the history, and this creates a lot of support in your foot. It's made from single piece of EVA, which I thought was very interesting. It is water friendly, flexible, and lightweight. Also has an adjustable strap with a pin buckle. And of course, on the bottom of the clog is that famous geometrical print on the footbed lining. So it also has it on the EVA portion as well. In terms of sizing, Birkenstock is a little bit interesting when it comes to sizing. I find that it doesn't really correspond for the Euro size or the UK size to the American size for me. I'm typically a true 8.5 women's. I'm not narrow, I'm not wide. It's just kind of like average, I guess. And so for these, I'm typically, because I have so many pairs of these, I am a 38, which actually on their chart corresponds to a size like 7 or 7.5 women's, which is not true because most of my sizing is actually in 8.5. Maybe the sizing is just a little bit different and corresponds differently, but because I've tried on so many different Birkenstocks, I kind of just know my size, and this is what I went with. And my recommendation is that if you can try them in store, I would definitely try them in store, or if you're able to try them on before you actually wear them, then that would be my recommendation. Keep in mind though, depending on the material, the EVA Arizonas that I have, they've actually stretched out a little bit. And so I'm anticipating that these Boston clogs will be the same. I just haven't worn them long enough to kind of like stretch them out a little bit, but I do anticipate that this will stretch out a little bit as you wear them longer. I like my Birks a little bit on the snug side, so I go with this size. If I can still wear socks with it, but it's a little snug. If you want a little bit bigger, then maybe you may have to go up a size, but definitely try them on in store, or if you can grab a couple pairs from online and return the ones that don't fit, then I would 100% recommend that. They also have like a measuring chart on the box. So if you open the box, there is this measuring chart, as I mentioned, and you can put your foot on here, see how that works. That would kind of be my recommendation for sizing. It's hard to really say. I mean, the size that I've been wearing for many years has been the same, and I'm just gonna stick to that. I know it's not really solid advice on what to get, but just a shoe that you really have to try on, and once you find out the size, then you are good to go. In terms of comfort, when you put these on, they feel like your typical Boston clogs, except it feels like EVA foam, or you know, the material that this is made out of, or really simply put, rubber. And so I really like the arch support in this. You don't really get that in a lot of different like flip-flops or clogs, or like outdoor shoes, I guess you can call them. And so I really like that portion of it. It has a little you know, dip here at the back of the shoe, which is really nice. So I like that in terms of comfort. It's an okay feel. I wouldn't say this is a shoe that you might wear for a whole entire day. I actually just wore them for the last couple of weeks. Yesterday, I wore them for maybe 8 or 9 hours on feet, and my feet were getting a little bit sore. I was getting a couple blisters kind of in this area of my foot, and also this side of my foot here. Not because the shoe is small, I just think because it's just constantly rubbing on your foot, and I wasn't wearing socks yesterday. That was why my feet were getting a little bit sore. I do feel like it might form a blister, but in terms of the comfort of the shoe, wearing it, it is pretty comfortable, but obviously not as comfortable as the Boston in the cork edition, for example. But that's just kind of my opinion. I kind of would wear these just to like run out and do some errands, or if I knew I was going to, like, I play beach volleyball, so wearing it to like a beach volleyball game just to get to the beach, or you know, I'm having like a day at the water park with my nieces and nephews, I would throw these on and I wouldn't be super worried about it getting wet. So in terms of my overall review, let me go into the pros and cons, and then I'll let you know if I think you should purchase these shoes at the end of the video. So let's talk about the negatives of this shoe. So my first negative is that there's no type of airflow, and this type of material is kind of sweaty, so your feet will get very sweaty up here. There's no type of airflow. So for example, like when you're wearing Crocs, Crocs have the holes in them, so your feet don't really feel like they're sweaty at all, just from my experience. Wore these without socks for many hours yesterday, and my feet were sweating in them. I was in a mall just kind of walking around, and my feet were just sweating in them, and I did not like that feeling at all. So I would say that ventilation isn't great on this. I am curious. I didn't wear them with socks, but I do wonder how it would feel with socks on. Maybe your feet won't feel as sweaty, but I'm not entirely sure because I just haven't worn them with socks. It's just not a style that I would wear, how I would wear these. So the first thing is airflow is lacking. Not the greatest shoe in terms of if you don't like sweaty feet, this probably isn't the shoe for you. The second thing I don't like about it is if you have the suede Bostons, you know that this area here, I don't even know really what it's called, it kind of like flops down and like shapes to your foot. This is very stiff, and when you put it on foot, maybe I'll have B-roll here, it looks kind of weird to me. Like I feel like there's a gap there that I don't really like, but that's just something that I'm kind of being nitpicky about at this point. But it is just important to note if you don't really like that look, because sometimes when I wear this, I feel like I am like a nurse who is wearing like these clogs and going to work for some weird reason. I don't know why. It just feels, it doesn't feel like stylish to me like the suede Boston clogs are like, but that's just kind of how I feel. I'm not gonna lie, when I initially bought these and got them shipped, I was super excited to get them, and when I put them on my feet, I hated them. I immediately printed off the return shipping label and I was ready to ship these back to the store that I purchased them from. I just hated them. And so while I was doing kind of research for this video and trying them on at home, the way that people were kind of styling them, I said, hey, I'm just gonna give it a try and see how it goes. I may end up liking them because I really liked the EVA Arizonas. And so that's why I kind of gave these a try. And then the other negative I mentioned in the comfort portion of this video is that I was getting a little bit of irritation around this area here where my foot hits, and then on the inside of the shoe, like around here and here. Not on both feet, but maybe just like one foot is a little slightly bigger and I'm feeling a little bit of irritation on there. So those are kind of the negatives that I have of this shoe here. So let's turn into the positives. In terms of the good things that I like about this, a super lightweight shoe, which I think is a great feature for the summertime, obviously, because it's super hot outside. You want to wear as light and airy things as possible just so that you are not as hot. So, you know, having this, you know, super light is great on your feet. The other thing that I like about it is that it's really easy to clean. So even if you had kind of like a mark here, you can just really just wipe it off with your hand, or just use a little bit of water and a cloth to wipe it all off. Speaking of water, they're super water friendly. So if you're someone that goes to the beach a lot, or goes out to the water park with the kids, or, you know, maybe even gardening when you're using the hose and you get a little bit wet, like these are all scenarios that I can think of that this shoe would come in handy, and you wouldn't really stress about getting them dirty or wet or anything like that. I think that's a big positive and is a huge positive for me. I wear these when I go to beach volleyball, for example, and the sand makes it super dusty, but just really easy to clean with a little bit of water. Don't even really need any type of cleaning solution or anything like that, which is really nice. The other thing is, like, I'm kind of comparing these to like a flip-flop, because flip-flops are kind of made of rubber and things like that. And so I really like the foot support in it. So obviously I would pick these over like a traditional flip-flop just because it has that arch support, the toe grip on the inside here, and then, you know, like the classic Birkenstock feel, which is really nice and makes it a little bit more comfortable than like a flat piece of rubber or plastic that you're walking on compared to like a flip-flop or slide. Overall, I would say that these really aren't my favorite pair of Birkenstocks. I'm not going to lie. I'm not disappointed in them. They're just not as hyped as I thought they would be. And so for $85 Canadian, I think that's quite expensive. It's almost $100 for a pair of these right here. I do think that if you are looking to purchase these, that you should wait until they go on sale. I got mine for about 25% off. So I don't think it's worth the full price of the retail $85, but that's just kind of my opinion. I would also recommend that if you are wearing these in the summer, maybe go with like a lighter color. They have like few other colors in this silhouette. But I think in the summer, if you wear something light, a little more airy, like a lavender or a yellow, that'd be really, really nice in the summertime. But overall, I think if you are looking for something similar to this, but want an even cheaper alternative, you may want to check out the Crocs Dylan. I'll leave a picture here and you can check them out and see if that's something that you like. They look pretty similar. I might actually like them better and may check them out because it doesn't have this part here, so it might not have the gap that I'm talking about, that I spoke about earlier in the video. So I mean, overall, not a shoe that I would purchase again. If someone asked me, hey, would you purchase these again after wearing them? I probably would say no, I'm gonna skip out on them and try a different pair. I really like the Arizona EVAs that Birkenstock makes, and I think that's perfect for the summertime. The benefits of being light, having that airflow because your feet are kind of out and exposed and not here in this clog portion. But that's just kind of my opinion. If you want a review of my Arizonas and the EVAs, they're kind of beat up, but I can make a video if you are interested in it. But my overall advice, I'd probably skip out on these and get something else that's a little bit more functional for the summertime. But anyway, that's it for today's video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace, bye. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out today's video. There's more to see on my blog at www.writtenbyjess.ca and my socials, which are always in the description box below. Thanks for all your support, and we'll catch you in the next one.